gonna have a really, really bad time, sir.
This shit. Hit me up. You're gonna have a real bad time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Retireholics. This is episode number 250, Chadwick.
Is it really?
I don't know, somewhere in that.
It was
ballpark.
believable.
We stopped
You had
counting
me.
at like episode 34, but yeah, we're definitely right around 250, something like that. My name is JD. I'm joined by Nerdy Chad, everybody's favorite retireholic guy will be here shortly. He's in transit. And Silent J, Justin McNeil, the 1991 taco eating champion of the ASPA conference, is at the Del Mar racetrack in San Diego with my son, our internal sales consultant, and Devin Wendell, our SoCal sales rep. There they are.
Oh, there they are.
I believe that's Amanda Iverson with them and CPA dude. What's CPA dude?
Brad Bartels,
Brian?
BB.
Brian Bartels. So look at my son's outfit. What the fuck?
Hey,
Black
Justin
and
said he had 4 outfits that he changed throughout the day. So I want to know what the other outfits were like.
We'll see. Amanda's popping it off. Today's episode is sponsored by the new Retireholics Target Date Fund. It's coming out soon. It's a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 asset allocation. So it's really simple, really easy to understand. It's 1/3 in private equity, 1/3 in crypto, and 1/3 in Roby's drunk stock picks. Be aware, the glide path is very aggressive. When I say very aggressive, I mean the path is flat, basically. It will remain in that 1/3 breakdown to and through retirement because the tagline of the fund is like, go big or go home. So check it out. It should be on the shelves soon. No rebalancing. No. Hackle, that's a great idea. We should rebalance. We'll rebalance quarterly. We'll figure something out like
Analysts said rebalance, so.
Totally. We'll do that. Gonna sing a song today.
Oh, God.
So to do that, there's quite a few things I need to do here. I change my mic to this setting. I need to make sure that my mic wire did not come loose as I did that, and I'm still on the Yeti mic. I am. I go to original sound up in the top, and yeah, here we go. Got a little song for everybody. It's a John Cougar Mellencamp song, so let's take it away. Little ditty about Nevin and Fred, 2 ERISA attorneys always using their heads. Freddie's gonna be a podcast star. Nev's retirement is very subpar.
This might be your best one yet, JD.
Okay. Debating whether peps are the bee's knees, but these 2 boomers know they have way too high fees. Freddie says, hey Nev, your thoughts on private equity could be too risky. Let's see what Schlickter believes. Oh yeah, new cases will spawn. Alternative investments might be the next con. PE, what could go wrong? Maybe your plan will get sued by the boogeyman. Gotta rhyme it, And there we go. It's the Nevin and Fred.
Oh, JD.
Was that all right? Okay, good.
We need to cut that one and we need to put it out on social immediately because solid 9 from Kush there. I am in agreement.
That's good if Kush is saying right. And I just lost my mic. Hang on. Sorry. Good, because Wendy, I don't know if you know, but sometimes those can go really bad.
That's a good one.
Often. By the way, JD, Marky's coming in, but you owe 4 drinks now.
Okay.
I'm adding them up since we didn't have a bell ringer.
Road guy, while I take
Am I on time? Did I make it in time?
You're
Did we start yet? Perfect. Okay,
here he is, everybody's favorite Retireholic, guy. Tell us about your day, Roby. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Carmel Valley, drinking some wine, hanging out, just relaxing.
Did you stay the night there last night?
No, I drove home from Monterey yesterday and drove back this morning. Yeah, it's been a lot of windshield time, but I pregame with some really nice sparkling brut and some rosé, and I was just gonna swash it down with a really fancy Modelo. Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm good.
Roby, fun fact, Brandon and I's dogs' names as kids were Brute and Chablis. Okay, let's intro our guest. She's a mother of 3, sent 2 of them off to college yesterday or tomorrow. She's sending 2 of them off to college tomorrow. And her 3rd child, her daughter's already off and gone. So she's a soon to be empty nester. She's a Cleveland Browns fan who loves 40-year-old quarterbacks, apparently.
Flacco!
He is the best.
Oh, gosh.
He is actually.
Loves banging out emails while listening to Christopher Cross, Men at Work, and Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace to Ozzy. She's on TikTok and Insta, putting out 401k content under the banner 401ks Rock, which I think she has trademarked. She's a retirement plan advisor, and more importantly, she's obsessed with 401k plans, so she's in the right spot. Welcome to the show, Wendy Eldridge. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
JD.
Yes, sir.
You're on your game tonight. You even took over Justin's role of introing our guests, and you did it better than him.
Well,
I'm proud of you.
I asked Mark to do it, and he wrote me back, nah.
No, I didn't. I said, I'm going to be late. I can't do that, man.
Brandon, let's play some headlines.
Hey, Jay,
Can I quick respond to Mike's question in the chat?
Yeah.
Sure, you're our guest. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Justin Bieber, heart, love him. Thank you.
Yes.
hey, Mark's having the same problem. I don't know what's going on, that background problem. I sent you an image, Mark. Can you change your virtual background to that?
Yep.
I'm bailing on my Yeti because it keeps fucking up. This is just this is the way it's supposed to go. You know what's cool, Wendy? When your show is irreverent and drunk, when things go wrong, it's just part of the fun. You know?
Yeah. All about the content, baby.
I'm just bailing on my mic. Okay, headlines. We've got one Mosaic, our buddy Brian Brashaw over at Mosaic. Their company has partnered with now Blaze Credit Union. Might seem like a boring topic, but I want to take this somewhere. I bank with Chase. Well, actually, I have several banks because I want to just keep $250K in each bank. So I've spread it out because I kind of got shocked by the whole Silicon Valley bank thing. So I spread my money around, but I am obviously a private banking client with Chase because of my net worth. And they were trying to sell me a 401k the other day. They walked me through like a web demo, and all of a sudden the dude started slinging me 401k plans, which I believe is the Chase 401k plan is called Everyday 401k, and they use Aaron Schum over at Vestwell to do some of the work.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it was kind of a funny moment for me. But then it brought me back to the past. Like, when I was selling, which was a long time ago, Wendy, when's the last time JD ever sold a retirement plan? It's been a long time. But I remember thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to go walk into these little regional banks and talk to the financial advisors that work in these banks and get them to like partner with me as a third party administrator. I think I felt flat on my face. Like, I don't think any of that shit ever really worked. But that's where my brain's going right now is Mosaic with this credit union is going to help those advisors in those retail locations to sell 401k plans, which, hey, maybe that works. So my question to you all, and we'll start with Wendy, is do you think an advisor in a bank could kill it in terms of sales? I mean, they've got the Rolodex, right? Like they've got all the data to look at for all the clients, how much money they got in their banks, whether they run a business, whether they don't. You think that might be a pretty good spot to shoot some fish in a barrel? No?
Well, kudos to Mosaic for trying this. I mean, I think, again, kudos to them for doing this. The problem is that the banks are going to sell a product. And so it's a horrible, horrible idea for the end user. They're going to sell a bad product. They're not going to be around. They're not going to service it. I'm all for this if we go back to you have to be a fiduciary, that everybody who's going to be selling 401k plans has to be a fiduciary. I'm all in. But if that doesn't happen, this is a disaster.
Now, I think part of what you just said makes perfect sense with my Chase situation, because Chase was trying to sling their own product, right? But a lot of these regional banks, and I would imagine this Blaze one is similar to this, is they don't really have their own product, right? So if they're an Mosaic advisor, they may have a choice of products. But then to your second point, they're probably pretty clueless when it comes to 401k plans. And so all those other points you made are totally valid. But I think we should make that distinction. My guess is that at Blaze, as Mosaic advisors, they will have a choice of different products to choose from. Chad, do we call on regional banks? Does your sales team no? Come on, why not?
No, well, we're gonna chase the actual opportunity, and truthfully, there's not much business being done in those regional banks. But let's be honest with one another, especially at Chase, because I've banked there for 25 years. Those in-office advisors, those in-bank advisors, they turn over so freaking fast. Yeah. They're gone and off somewhere else. They are slinging the next product that they need to continue to keep status. And then I don't know if they leave the business or go independent or what they do, but they are never in the bank channel anymore. So I would be truly fearful. I did sit down with a Chase Bank advisor, JD, years ago, and he pitched me on their Everyday. Now, their Everyday was ran by JP Morgan's micro market platform at that point, which I think JP Morgan is now using Vestwell as the tech, and that's how that got connected. But he pitched me, and I sat him down, and I said, dude, if you want to do this, you're pitching the wrong person, first off. But if you want to do this, you need to position yourself as an independent. You're a securities licensed advisor. You don't have to sell the in-house product. If you want to be a 401k person inside the bank, then get comfortable with other products and position yourself, to Wendy's point, as an independent fiduciary advisor. And if they do that, kudos to them. I'd be okay with it. They do have low-hanging fruit, and they're going to sell some plans. It's going to be nasty.
So Nate Moody says bunch of 50,000 and 3 participant plans, but I mean, big successful business owner have bank accounts, and big businesses run through banks. And so
what has Wells Fargo done? That's a banking channel that created an advisor chassis independently.
The connection between like Bank of America and Merrill, right? Mm-hmm. Where they have business bankers that are attached to, it can be one or a group or a collection of advisors, and that business banker is a referral source versus the actual advisor. I think in that dynamic where the business banker can vet out the client and can pass it along to the specialist, I'm okay with that. And I think advisors should partner with business bankers to get those opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. Like if they're not, that might be a tougher call. But I will tell you this, like people trust their banks, I feel like. And so like to do a mortgage with your bank is a very common thing. You're like, oh, this is my bank. They hold my money. Like I'm going to do my mortgage with them. And so I just think that it's possible that there's a lot of business owners out there that would be lured into someone at their bank saying, "Hey, let us help you with your 401k plan." But
100% right.
I say that, and I also realize that I've never really seen that happen or work, and it doesn't seem to work at any scale. Let's go to the juicy one. Let's go to the big headline, which is the juicy one. It's the one I did at the late ad, Brandon. It's from NapaNet.IWillDrink.org.
I don't have my buttons ready. Jesus.
And it's titled Schlickter Says Empower Improperly Use Data in 401k Managed Account Push. If you're in this business, we've talked about this on the show many times. We were all very aware that Empower was making a heavy push in these rollovers. I've brought up many conspiracy theories, Wendy, about how advisors should be very wary of this, and that Empower's kind of creeping in on their business. I also understand a lot of advisors don't do rollovers, so they're kind of okay with it. But I saw some interesting kind of comments online from people that had even reached out to Empower and asked them to stop doing this to some of their clients, and apparently weren't getting the results they wanted. But I digress. Boy, Empower's in a lot of headlines these days, aren't they? I feel like Ed Murphy is like, is he okay? Is he holding up? I feel like he's just getting shot at left and right from all this stuff, and Empower's constantly.
I feel like they're the Yankees right now. Everybody's coming after him and saying shit, but they just keep on winning. I mean, that's what the Yankees have done for so long. That's what Empower's doing. They're winning.
Maybe that's what Ed Murphy thinks is okay. No big deal. Okay.
Why didn't you say the Browns for that analogy, Chad?
I wonder why, Mark.
Let me set this up a little bit. Schlickter has mentioned this before. We all know Schlickter does not like the concept of using participant data to monetize the participant. In this lawsuit, it's talking about the fees for these rollover managed accounts being in the vicinity of like 1.35%. It's got a 55 basis point wrap. And then, so I don't know what kind of investments they're using, but it sounds like it's in the vicinity of 80 basis points or something. Just to note, if you have over 400K in those things, I think the 55 drops to 25. So then maybe you're somewhere in that kind of 1% range. But the lawsuit is about, hey, that first of all, this is expensive. Secondly, you're using sleazy sales tactics to do it. Let me read from the opening line. A new suit challenges, quote, a scheme is what the boogeyman uses, Schlickter, a scheme to significantly mislead retirement plan participants and greatly enhance corporate profits. That's the quote. Like, this is how Schlickter sees this stuff. Wendy, do you think does this plan have a plan advisor maybe? And what I want to ask you, is the plan advisor have any responsibility or role here to know that this is going on? Or the plan sponsor? Like, what's the plan sponsor's role in this? Or are they just innocent bystanders to Empower's kind of, well, I can't call it evil yet because there's been no gavel thrown on the table yet. There's no decision here. We don't know whether this is right or wrong. Let me ask you that. How do you feel about this whole thing? Is this right or wrong in your book?
Well, I think in that they talked about that the plan sponsor is not part of the lawsuit. So they
left them
talk all
out
about it, but they're not part of it. So this is a huge issue to folks like me who my company does do individual wealth. We do rollovers. And so my external Empower wholesaler, great guy, friends with him. My head has popped off 16 times when I found out that Empower is, contacting this. I will tell you one story that happened that my head literally popped off my body. I had a individual in a 401k plan. The person died at the company, and the wife called me to help me. She was kind of clueless with everything. The balance was $800,000. She was trying to call Empower to get things set up, and the person on the other line, they transferred her to the sales.
They swooped it.
Literally. Just jamming her $800,000 about rolling it over. She felt very uncomfortable. She had her son call me and say, I feel like something's wrong. Like they're really trying to hard sell me. I was like, there is no way that this happened. I got the call logs. I made them do the recordings of it. Oh, it happened. It happened. And so
literally went and asked for the call logs and everything.
Oh,
Wendy,
yeah.
I didn't know this. This is juicy stuff. This is great. Please continue on.
Yes. So what then I was told was at that point, they will never call anybody, and we set the threshold of what the balances would be. But the response to me being upset about Empower doing this is that Empower's stance, at least my personal opinion is, if you have an advisor who isn't doing this, then they're not getting the help that they should be getting.
Yes.
So
That's how they
that's why
defend
we're
it.
doing it.
That's how that's exactly how he defends it in interviews, and to the point of like most don't is what he's saying. Most don't. So this is like a great service, but he also always says that, hey, when people like you, Wendy, or Nate Moody reach out and say, hey, don't do this, that they somehow don't. And I don't know. It seems like those
Don't throw Moody in the same conversation as Wendy. Come on, dude. That's like
Oh.
Wendy, Moody. Come on. What are we doing?
just
Just
wanna-
because he was on a commercial for Maine?
I almost brought that up tonight, but I didn't. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, that's great, Wendy. That's really interesting to hear. Well, it's not about just pissing off advisors now. It's about Schlickter saying this is not okay. And Chad, where do you think this thing's going to land? Is Schlickter going to make some headway here, or will Ed Murphy be the victor? And
I mean, in the little that I'm able to read on that article, it certainly looks like there will be traction for Schlickter here. Leveraging data is one thing. I don't think that's the argument here. When you look at what he says in the beginning of his disclosure, he says that they targeted people with high balances close to retirement that were unsophisticated investors. I'm not sure how they're determining they're unsophisticated investors in terms of targeting them.
because everybody, basically.
I know Schlichter wants to go after the fact that the data is a plan asset and should not be shared and leveraged in that way. But I'm not sure that's the case we're looking at here. I think what we're really looking at is to what Nate said up top, which is here you have a business that has access, which has always been my point in this conversation, access to all of this opportunity. And now they're going to cross-sell every last thing that they have. And I've always been, Wendy, in defense of the ability to cross-sell if it's something that the participant needs. If someone were to reach out to me right now and say, Chad, I get it. You're about to take a mortgage out on a home. Let me chat with you about what, since we're plans with Nationwide, what Nationwide could do to help you in comparison to your local bank. I would be very happy to have that conversation. But that's not what tends to happen. It's cross-selling of any product that creates margin for these businesses.
Well, and Wendy's example is kind of like the worst of the worst. Like you think this is all like little like $5,000, $10,000 rollovers with people that you want to do it in a way, not some poor woman who's got close to $1 million and is just being, pushed into something. That was part of the lawsuit too that Schlichter was saying, is that apparently these sales tactics are pretty aggressive. So that could play a part, in court.
Certainly could.
Obviously, they've got the recording. Wendy,
here's the thing, JD. You at the beginning of this, you talked about Empower, and I said they continue to win. They continue to win because advisors continue to be a distribution channel for them. Now, the product is good, the technology is good. To Nate's point, the costs are solid. But it seems like everybody's getting so frustrated about the rollovers and distribution aspect, the decumulation side of that plan, that at some point our advisors are going to jump ship and stop selling it. I don't see that happening.
This is what we've talked about in the past, and it hasn't happened. So yeah, you're right. He's kind of getting the last laugh. People like the product. They're using it. It prices well in micro markets, mid markets, mega markets. It prices well. They've got a lot of very big clients that they tend to like talk about, that they have that impress people. So yeah, we'll see. But I do think that I am very interested from a legality standpoint how this one plays out, because this is a very specific thing that's going down. And I know that this is very similar to the Teachers Industry Association, whatever.
Nice.
Just
it up. Yeah, it's fine.
very similar to that. How did that play out? That didn't really play out the way Schlickter wanted, did it? It kind of, someone tell me, I forget how that lawsuit played out.
Well, I was
I don't
going to
know.
say, I think the thing
Webby
I
will
was just
know.
going to say, JD, is the thing about what I feel like is different about this is I think in the past, like you said, the focus has been more on the data. This is now on the sales tactic, which I really haven't seen that kind of piece.
True. It's very different.
Hey, so hold on. One quick comment before you transition. Paul Crawford just made the comment. Their technology is too good for plan sponsors to ignore. I'm not disagreeing with that, Paul, but the plan sponsor doesn't know Empower from the other 10 vendors. So it's the advisor community that continues to bring Empower to the plan sponsor to then acknowledge the strength in their technology and product. So that was my question there is we all are a distribution channel for them. They're not Fidelity yet. They're not selling plans without having a distribution channel. And so I think that advisors will continue to sell it because the product is that good, because the technology is that good. But the plan sponsors aren't buying the technology. They're buying the advisor, and the advisor's bringing them that technology.
You, Paul. It's you, Paul. It's not that you're to blame. I get your joke in there, but this stuff's sold. It's not bought. We all know that. And so it's you guys and girls out there that are selling this stuff, and you like the product still. I bet if I was Ed Murphy, I would very much, regardless of the outcome of this lawsuit, I would very much shore up that agreement between my advisors and my real partners that are advisors, and make sure that I'm not stepping on their toes in these situations. And I'm sure that's easier said than done. Let's spin the wheel of ice, shall we? Let's see where it lands. I'll take Justin on there.
Oh, I hope it lands on Justin. Didn't it land on me last week when I wasn't there?
I forgot that shit.
Wow.
How is that even possible?
I'll take it for him.
Okay, thank you. Mark, do you see a trend here? I don't want to state the obvious, but Wendy, when the Wheel of Ice first started, which was literally like 10 years ago, the original bit was it would always land on Mark. Like we do it on purpose. And then for the last like 4 years, it's been a very fair and equitable wheel that could land on anyone, but it's slowly migrating back to its natural, what it needs to be.
Well, which is what?
Landing on you all the time, but apparently
did you not see the wheel? The wheel is big Mark's and tiny everybody else's.
It's okay. I was just making sure I understood. Yeah, I was going to say, because I figured that's where we were going with this, and then it doesn't land on me. So maybe I thought Brandon was just trying to make it funnier. I don't know.
Next headline to talk about is a big one. This comes to you from pitchfork.com. Justin Bieber, people, out with a new album titled Swag. I will read from here. Pop's youngest elder statesman, that's an oxymoron, continues to evolve his rhythm and blues. Didn't say that. I knew what that means. Sound by enlisting some big names from the underground. His 7th album is warm, it's blissful, and a little out of touch. I'm going to tell you right now. What do you got going on there? What do you got going on?
She's got a Biebs shirt on.
She's a believer. I didn't know this. Wendy, I'm obsessed with this kid. Like
He's a full-grown man, JD.
Yeah, he's not a kid. Not a kid.
I've been listening to this stuff on loop. Do you guys know that I literally refer to like Empower wholesalers, Voya wholesalers? If they're in their 30s, they're a kid to me. That's a kid. Yeah. I'm in my 50s, bro.
Devin called your son a kid the other day.
Yeah, he is. But Bieber, I don't know if I agree with Bieber's full body tat decisions along the way. I would have preferred him to keep that a little cleaner, what have you. But this album, I highly recommend to anyone. Wendy, have you listened to it?
It's awesome. What's your favorite song?
I'm obsessed with Yukon right now. It's popping off everywhere. That's the one where he pitched his voice super high. I thought it was the chick that was singing it. I forget her name, damn it. But and it's not. It's him just pitched up. So I love Yukon. Yes, Roby. What are your thoughts?
No, I just want to say, did you hear and catch wind about the Bieber impersonator in Vegas?
Yes,
guy who does not look like him, but looks
Not
like
at
him
all.
at the same time. Like it's not like it one of those like you do a double take. Like most people would be like, that's not Bieber, but he just so happens to have body tats where whatever. He ran up $10,000 like bill at a club.
VIP.
He performed an entire song on stage and people bought
No,
it.
he
And then
didn't.
there's a video of
Yeah.
the club owner leaving, and guy goes, "You got duped, dude. That was not him." And he was like, "No way!" Like he didn't even know. So yeah, it was pretty
Oh my.
To me, it
I
looked
love
like
that guy. We need to get that guy up on a picture on our screen.
so, apparently
Yeah.
he does this a lot, and he has Bieber's actual tattoos on him, like for real. That's a little weird, but so he does this as like a gig. Yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I saw it online. I'm like, that is
Yeah,
not
that's
Justin Bieber.
not him.
It kind of looks like
Yeah.
Justin Bieber put on like 15 pounds or something. And but I don't know, if you're drunk in Vegas at
Right. Yeah.
Club X or whatever, you're probably like, it's him. Oh my God.
For sure. For
JD,
sure.
I'll give you this. I had not listened to his new album, but I did put it on while I was prepping for the show and sending out some emails. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then
I liked
Wendy,
it.
to answer your question, this is very cliche because this is the one that everyone loves. But Daisies obviously is a great song too. But I really like the Yukon thing, and I think it's just a great listen from start to finish. Brian Graff's
What?
Bieber
So we
headlining.
have to dig in this a little deeper, Wendy. You have the shirt on. So how many concerts have you attended? Well,
And
you
so I'm
got,
going
like,
to be 100% honest, never gone to a concert.
Okay.
Now, my
fair enough.
daughter, of course, I don't get to go. I pay for my daughter to go because it costs $10,000 for her to go.
Ugh.
And her friends go and they cry. They cry when he comes on stage.
I would
Real
cry.
tears. Yes. But huge, huge fan, I have to say.
So are they such supporters that they like buy the makeup products that his wife just made billions of dollars off of? Like
They bought them before, so.
got it. Okay.
Hey, way
Okay.
to transition to business, Roby. Yeah, his wife, Haley Bieber, is started Rode. Am I getting that right? Rode or something like that. But sold it for
so.
$1 billion dollars. Okay. This is right up your alley, Wendy. This is a new segment for us. This is the second time we've done it. And it's all about FinTalk, like financial shit on TikTok or Instagram Reels. And everybody, you know, our producer, Brandon, sometimes he does good work. He whipped up a little segment intro. So Brandon, let's play the old TikTok segment. Doesn't have a name. And the way this works, Wendy, we're just going to throw one up and then we're going to talk about it. So
And can I just say something I
yes.
saw last week? I would love for this to be a permanent addition going forward because
Yeah.
it's super.
I agree.
Roby likes it too. Yeah. I do too. Well, here we are. We're doing it again. So it's got promise. Go ahead, Brandon. Just pop one off.
Honestly, boys, if you want to get rich, get drunk, right? Go to a casino, take out all the money you have, and then just let the liquor do it.
The better advice was just, if you can't lose that money, don't gamble.
Oh yeah, don't gamble money that you can.
Man.
I mean, unless it's a lock.
There's no such thing as a lock.
Here's my method. Whenever you lose, you just borrow money from the casino. You lost everything. People hating on fucking drinking, people hating on gambling. It's like, have you ever tried to combine both?
Jeez.
I don't know.
Steve
Wendy.
will do it.
I guess my question is, he's got a concept there, like, which you'd think I'd be a big fan of, like mixing a little bit of alcohol with finances. Like it could bring good results. Yes or no? I don't know.
Or even the next day you wake up to 17 Amazon boxes and you say, whoops.
What do you think about being drunk and making financial decisions?
I am in Mark's lines. It has happened on occasion, and there were 16 boxes the next day, which was not good. So
yeah, shopping.
Hey, but that is how I ended up with the best purchase of my COVID life, which was the inflatable hot tub.
Oh yeah. That was fun.
That was
I don't know.
fun.
Let's be honest. Hold on, time out real quick, because this is a great segment. I think this is important, and we're all just having fun here. But that guy, the guy up here, has a massive following, millions of people. They do pranks and stuff. but they have a captive audience of, let's be honest, dumb kids, right? And he says that, and they're like, okay, I should do that. And they go out and do it. So why do you think that next thing had to be done? Because they're like, hey, you're going to get in trouble for this. There's lawyers and stuff involved. You better say, like, don't actually do that. I was kidding. But to me, it's just like those funny haha videos. When you have that many followers and that many people who are paying attention, you can get some serious shit nowadays.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, to his point of getting drunk and going to the casino, I have to say, being totally honest with everyone, I mean, I'm coming straight from the heart. I make my most money playing blackjack when I'm fucking hammered. I swear to God. Because sometimes, and this might be true in investing, I mean, just like the Roby, you missed the new Retireholics Target Date Fund that's coming out. But sometimes you just got to go big or go home, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember when you and I in Vegas left the table, and then I saw a roulette board that had all reds, and I was like, let's put it all on black. And then we lost all our money. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
Was it fun? Was it worth the expense? Damn right it was.
It was fun, but it was really sad.
But
afterwards.
hey, the good financial advice in that video was don't gamble money you can't afford to lose. You could afford to lose that. That's why you put it all on black at that point in time. And it was a wonderful time until you lost.
Well, that's what those guys said. That's what those guys said. The original guy said, go take everything you have out of your bank account. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Brandon, play us another one.
If you saved $1 a day for a year, do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
I'm gonna head back to sleep. I don't even know why the fuck I woke up in the first.
I love that guy.
Wendy, is she making any sense? Is it because I feel like maybe she is making some sense?
So this is why we have to make TikTok videos to offset the bad TikTok videos.
Okay, you go, girl. You're doing that. But could she possibly, Chad, is she possibly referring to like the power of compounding?
So
maybe she's saying
hold on. I'm typing it in right now to waves. What would it take in a rate of return to save $1 a day for a year and end up with $30,000?
But wait, but she's young, so maybe what she's saying is that $1 a day will be worth this much.
When she's 65. Okay, fair enough. Waves comes back and says you need an 8,022% rate of return in a year to make $365
maybe
become
she
$30,000.
was trying to say if you save $1 day one, $2 day two, $3 day three, and then at that point. Does the math?
No, she's saying $1 a day for the next
But I'm saying, what if she just said it out loud but didn't think about what she was saying and then was wrong?
Chad,
and needed to revise it. Yeah.
Chad, could her $365 be worth whatever she said it was in 40 years? Sure, right? You could play that out. And by the way, listening in, if you want an 8,000% return, there's only one place to get that. And that's the Retireholics Target Date Fund. 1/3 in private equity, 1/3 in crypto, and 1/3 in drunk stock tips. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yes.
Your point, 30 and a half years. If I saved $1 a day for 1 year with a 6% rate of return, it would take 30 and a half years for it to be $30,000.
There you go. There you go. Albert Einstein was a smart man, and he thought the concept of compounding kind of blew his mind. So go figure. Let's play the next one.
How I would invest $1,000 if I were starting all over. This is day 1 of 30 of my lessons on finance. First, I'd invest $400 into an S&P 500 ETF like ticker symbols VOO or SPY. Now, this is typically the largest holding of any portfolio I start, and in the past 5 years, it is up 98%. Next, I would put $200 into QQQ. That's the ETF that tracks technology and growth stocks, and in the past 5 years, it's up 118%. Then I would put $300 into individual stocks. So I would pick 3 stocks and put $100 into each of them. You want individual companies that'll still be around in 40 years or more. So think of your companies like Apple, Meta, Nvidia, JP Morgan, etc. It's important not to buy any penny stocks or speculative stocks. Before I tell you what I would do with the last 100, make sure you're following me for another lesson tomorrow. All right, my last $100 is staying in a high yield savings account, earning interest and also waiting for opportunities. I think this split provides a lot of diversification to stocks via ETFs, as well as some concentration in long-term stable companies.
Wendy,
I actually follow this guy.
do you? Okay. Okay, what's your thoughts on what he just said there? Because I've got a few.
Well, first of all, I always take my daughter who's 26 if she understands something, okay? She would have watched that approximately 0.02 seconds and then would have gone off to something else because it wasn't fun like the other videos to like, you know, grab your attention. That's the problem. At least I always feel like in his videos, he's at least reasonable.
I love that you follow him. You're a true TikTok pro. I'm going to be an asshole here. Okay. I'm going to play financial services guy. He said the first thing he wants to put money into is a Standard & Poor's 500, which we all know these days is heavily influenced by Silicon Valley and the technology companies, right?
Yeah.
Like the Magic 8 or whatever they call them. Like, and so that's heavily pushed by Google, Meta, Apple, et cetera, et cetera. I think to the tune of like 40% or something. Okay. And then he went on to say the next place I would put my money is in I'll drink the QQQ, which is a tech-based fund. And then he went so far as then I take my other money and I would put it in 3 individual stocks. And my jaw was on the ground when he said Apple, Meta, Nvidia. And then literally in the next sentence, he's talking about diversification. And I was like, bro, that is the most undiversified concept strategy that you just came up with. And that to me was where I'm being the old guy now, get off my lawn, fucking like this guy doesn't know shit about fucking investing. I do not.
You're just mad. You're just mad because you didn't say crypto. That's why you're mad.
I'm just saying that strategy is not diversified. Am I wrong, Chad? Did that make sense?
You're not, and it made perfect sense. That correlation is heavy there. But let's not put it past the average person watching that video that will have no idea that pretty much everything he just described has a heavy technology play. And let's also look at the average 401k core menu that has a significant amount of overlap as well.
Yeah.
So he's speaking to his audience, I guess.
You know what I want to talk about more on this show is I'm hearing people talk about or refer to the Standard & Poor's 500 as the Standard & Poor's 493 or something, which I think is really interesting. Because when I grew up in this industry, we used that as an index. It was a big deal to like benchmark against certain things. It's the most common kind of index. And now that it's so skewed because of 7 or 8 companies, it changes the narrative. And so I would like to talk about that on this show a little more in the future. But if you're on TikTok, which I don't know, raise your hand in the chat bar if you are. I erase all my social media shit, Wendy. I literally got rid of my Instagram app and my TikTok app. And then because of this fucking segment, I put them back on my phone. And now I've been fucking doom scrolling again. I'm getting them off. I'm gonna go ahead.
Why did you get rid of them, JD? Well,
Yeah,
did you have a problem? Did Tracy call you out? Like,
oh my God, Tracy's so bad. So are my kids. Like I just watched my kids and my wife scrolling that damn phone.
I'm talking about you. What not them?
I think I had enough of an issue where I didn't want to do it anymore. Like I'm like, I want to stop doing this shit.
I knew that I needed to, JD. So I put maybe about a month, a little less than a month. I put a 1 hour limit per day on all my socials, including LinkedIn, which has been tough.
Parental controls on your own stuff.
On my own stuff.
Wendy, like many years ago, like it was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. Chad was on Retireholics and he goes, he says, I don't get this Instagram thing. All it is like golf and chicks in bikinis. And then we were cracking up because Chad had no idea about like his
You know
algorithm.
what an algorithm is,
He's
bro?
like, I don't understand. 6 bikinis and golf. And we were just cracking up. It was so hilarious. Okay.
Although it could have been something worse.
Yeah.
True, I guess.
Could have been.
Could have been. All right, let's move on. But Wendy, thank you for that's what I want to say. If you're on TikTok, Wendy's on TikTok. She's doing that. I saw your little Nicki Minaj. Was it Nicki Minaj challenge? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't do that. So Wendy, where do they follow you on TikTok and Instagram? Let them know.
401ks rock.
401ks rock. 401ks
What is the Nicki Minaj challenge? What have
So
I missed?
so JD, I do have to ask you, thank you for watching that. I was specifically and strategically sitting on a book. Do you remember what book?
Oh, no, I didn't see the book. Is it Rissa online book?
You need to go back and look now.
Okay, I will.
Dangled that carrot for you. Another view.
I know. I think I have 7, Mark. So now I have 8. Thank you.
But everyone go check that out. And yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about it enough tonight, but Wendy does on Instagram and TikTok, pretty much 95% of her posts are 401k related posts. And she's trying to kind of bring that, fun to that content. So obviously here at Retireholics, we're fans of that. Fans of that. Let's go. This one I thought was alarming. This is the article, Brandon, about sponsors not claiming their tax credits. Let's see.
This was jarring.
I love this one, JD, because this made me go to my own clients. I hope everybody who's watching this and everybody who replays this is so huge. I'm so happy about this one.
Yeah, let's dig into it. Check out this, people. Shocking information. This organization did a study and said that for eligible plans, the percentage of people that are plans that are getting their tax credits is on the low end 1% and on the high end 5%. Now, remember, we've had these types of tax credits for several years, but then Secure 2.0 really boosted them up, right? Secure 2.0 took these credits to where you could have 100% of your startup costs up to 5K, which when that was coming out, I was on this very podcast going like, holy shit, like that's going to be insanely awesome. To Chad's point, like, oh my God, to be able to talk to clients about this, you can I think the article even says you can cover all your startup costs in that first year. And to think that even if you go to the high end and think that 5% of the plans that are eligible for this, that is absolutely shocking. Wendy, whose fault is it? Is it the record keeper's fault? The third-party administrator's fault? The financial advisor? The certified public accountant? The plan sponsor? Like, who's to blame here?
Well, here's the problem. You and I had this on a couple of my plans. You start the plan and it's April and you remind them, remember that you can have these tax credits. I'm not kidding you. When you brought this article, I have my to-dos to make sure that they're telling their CPAs. So I don't know if it's anybody's per se fault. I would say though, as an advisor, I do feel at fault if my clients didn't get everything. I would blame myself to not follow up with them to tell them that. So I'm
imagining that you probably feel the same way as a TPA. Aren't you going to tell me that, geez, JD, couldn't we do something to like eat? You're not. Okay.
I am not. This one hits home, and in full transparency, I sit on the committee for Plan Consultant. We've been trying for about 6 months to statistically get data from the Internal Revenue Service on how many 8881s have been filed so that we can actually show, because the common theme amongst the 30 third-party administrators that sit on that committee is that we are not being asked for the data, right? Where is the certified public accountant going to get the data of how many eligible folks, how many were non-Hileys, how many were under a certain income threshold, what were the expenses? They're getting that from us all, from Wendy, from the third-party administrator, from record keeper.
A normal, not so smart, I'll drink CPA would would go to the client to ask for that stuff too. Client could
Yeah,
try
but then
to
where would the client go, JD? That's my point. The data has to come from the providers, whether that be us or the record keeper. And not one time have I been asked. Hold on, Mark, give me one sec. Not one time have I been asked. But the truth is, and Mark, you can validate this. Are you talking about it on every single startup? Yeah. Are you telling them what form it takes? Yeah. Are we telling them that they need to talk to their certified public accountant to get this work done? Yeah. To Moody's point in the chat bar, how many CPAs are paying attention to this and doing? Zero. I don't know a single one. Not a single one.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So Chad, is this something that you feel like though, could TPAs put this as part of their process at the end of the year in terms of, we got to get the census file, we got to get this. Oh, by the way,
Yeah, I
we need
think
to
so.
remind on that.
We can do one better. We
Wendy.
can do one better than that. And Wendy, you owe a drink of your rosé. Third-party administrator is the correct term on this show, not the acronym. It could even be a separate communication. It could be its own communication that just says, hey, you started a new plan. We see that you qualify for this, and we just wanted to, ping you.
Reminder.
You don't have to bury it in year-end work or anything. Like it could be something to do. I'd love to hear you say that you feel like you want to step up as an advisor. I feel like record keepers could even step up. I think that's the real important conversation right now is, as an industry, we all need to do something about this. Like, this is horrible. Like,
the point there, you said, JD, who is to blame? Nobody's to blame. It's just, how can we actually work together to come up with a way for all of us just to simply remind people? It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take much. We have email addresses. We have contact information. We have metrics. But my point, going back a little bit, is to Chad's point is, so we bring on a new client, like Wendy said, in April. Well, an entire year plus goes by until they're even filing their taxes. So that's not front of mind at all. So when I read that, I was angry. But when I read it, I was also not incredibly surprised. But the fact that someone's putting it out there is a reminder. Now, Chad, stop moaning and groaning over there, buddy. It's a reminder to all of us sitting right here, that we need to do something. It is partially on us. Like, we are on the front lines. We do need to do more.
Here's where I'll argue, Mark. We certainly can, and we certainly should do more. But let's point a little finger here. Who is responsible for doing the business's taxes?
Yeah, the fucking businesses.
It's the CPA. That's what you fucking pay them for, you guys. They're supposed to know what deductions they can claim for you.
Do you know, I'm sure you do, that many small businesses that start up a 401k plan do their own taxes. They don't have. You
guys are both wrong. And that's why I added it to our PRQ. That's why I've added it to our systems.
We also collect information and contact information about a certified public accountant. Why don't we just send a blast out, a reminder?
Mark, what did I do? What did I do in February? I sent a blast to our CPA saying, don't forget your client's open to startup. So plan design consultants are doing these things, Mark.
Nate Moody.
I didn't see that blast, but
I'm not saying that the certified public accountant should like do it all, because they don't. I get that they don't have the data, but I feel like they're the one that should be, that, to Chad's point, is like they should have
it exists.
Like, hey, I need to get this for my client, so now let me reach out and get this data. But with that said, and I saw Chad, I think I usually like to say that third-party administrators shouldn't be responsible for certain things because I'm biased. I think this fits pretty well for a third-party administrator.
So you're saying, JD, the TPA should be at fault?
I think that
not at fault.
No,
I think that a third.
Jeez, Wendy.
I think the fault.
Justin Bieber's at fault. Okay.
The fault lies with the client, but I think that the third-party administrator.
No, it doesn't.
Hang on. Is in a great position to make a difference here. And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but probably more than anyone else. I want to shift to the prospecting mode. Tony Davis said like he mentioned like searching 5500s for new plans. Does that timing make sense, Chad? Do you think an motivated advisor could find startup plans and would there be enough time to look at a 5500 to say, are you getting your 5K?
Did you?
If you're not, because apparently 95% of them are not.
I have never thought about that, to be completely honest. And yes, beautiful. Go in, run a search on 5500 for first year filings, reach out to those plan sponsors and said, ask your CPA if you've got your credit for last year. If not, let's talk and I'll make sure that you get it for this coming year.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, Chad, are you in your new house?
No, I'm at home. I'm at my current home.
Hey, everyone. On a personal note, I was able to walk through Chad's beautiful brand new home that he's built. It's not quite done, just finishing stuff, but he gave me this whole tour. I'm a little upset, Wendy, as his boss, because his office is downstairs and it's a beautiful little office. And you know what he built right next to his office? A golf simulator / bar. And I'm thinking, is he going to be productive or is he going to kind of, spend a lot of time over in the golf simulator and the bar? So I have some concerns about that,
Hey, by the way, your father-in-law told me that we're no longer allowed to use the term boss. It is now leader. You are my leader, not my boss. That's what Paul Sr. told me. I'm no longer allowed to say.
Terrible.
Do you know who's paying Paul Sr. to help us? Your fucking boss.
I feel Wendy, can we have a mic drop on that one, please?
Wendy, I want to give you the last take on the startup credits so close this out for us. I'm guessing you're just saying this is a big deal.
Well, hold on.
I gotta move
Moody
on.
I know he and I don't see eye to eye, but he had a great point. Wendy, you got to throw out a TikTok of tax credits.
I'm already there. I was just going to say, so my last point, JD, is definitely this will be on LinkedIn to talk about, and I do need to come up with some fun TikTok with it. So
that's a great one. That's a great one. You do all your own editing and stuff too?
So I am absolutely clueless on that. Thank God for my 26-year-old daughter, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, she does it for you. Okay. Good.
Hey, and I'll make one last plug. Ricky Taylor's writing the article for Plan Consultant, and we'll see what data we get, but he's trying to prove that it's not being used. The current Secure 2.0 credits.
Shocker. Just shocker. Like we haven't said.
Employers should be able to go back and claw it back somehow too. We should make a push for that.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Hey, Brian Graff. Brandon, please play the beer thing we have. Brian Graff. Butterbeer. Hey, Brian Graff, why don't you go? Yes. Yummy. Why don't you go?
I remember that one.
Go lobby for these plan sponsors to go and get their credit like 3 years later or something. Let them get it. We're going to give it to them in the first place. Okay, that was a good one. I think probably one of the most impactful kind of topics that we need to do something about as an industry. So we'll continue to keep our finger on the pulse of that one. Beneficiaries. What were we going to talk about beneficiaries? Did I give an article? Did I? I thought I did.
You did.
Yeah. Brandon, what was the article? Because I've been drinking.
National Association of Plan Advisors. I hit it, Mark.
I've been drinking a lot of vodka in my free time. And
your free time.
It's true. I don't know where the article is.
I'll tee it up, JD. It was it was commentary, and I forget what the case was, but essentially a participant who had put his girlfriend as a beneficiary, time lapsed a very long time. And there was a pushback on the record keeper that they did not properly communicate to the participant that the ex-girlfriend was still the beneficiary. And the result, I think, of it was they did properly communicate to the participant that she was still the beneficiary and no new one was elected. And therefore, the record keeper was not at fault. The plan sponsor was not at fault for not going to their participant and say, hey, did you know that your ex-girlfriend from 15 years ago was still your beneficiary of this $800,000 401k account?
They even said something in there like, hey, maybe that's what he wanted. You don't know. Maybe he really liked her. And he's like,
sorry, honey. It's my ex.
Wendy, beneficiary forms seem so easy. We've got many electronic tech tools to do this these days. But it definitely is I'll stop using this term someday in my life, but it's the redheaded stepchild of all tasks that need to get done, right? Like, sorry, redheaded stepchildren, that's not fair. Like, nobody gives a shit about beneficiary forms, and no one seems to want to, kind of like our last subject, no one seems to really want to like take responsibility for it. So as a retirement plan advisor, where does this sit on your radar?
This is a huge one for me because right now, I don't know why, but 2025, it feels like back in the pandemic. I'm literally working on 3 beneficiary claims of people who did not have beneficiaries listed because they weren't married. One of them was a dad who had 2 girls. He was like 60. He had 2 daughters, did not list them. And so they've been in probate for a year trying to get the money.
Because for everyone to know, like, there is a process, and eventually, sort of per the courts, like, the right people in quotes will get the money, right? But gosh darn it, the simple concept here is, hey, you've saved up this money, it's your money, you're allowed to name a beneficiary, unless you're married, then your spouse is your beneficiary, but you're allowed to do this, so why wouldn't you? And I guess people just don't think about dying. They don't care about that kind of stuff.
They don't think about.
They don't want to think about it is the problem.
Yeah.
Don't want to think about it. Yeah.
And I guess I would just say, as retirement plan advisors, every single time you talk to a participant, you need to ask that question. It doesn't matter what you're talking to them about. Every single time you talk to a participant, even if you've talked to them about it 10 times, you need to remind them, not just on the 401k, on any IRA, life insurance, annuity, anything that they have. Every time you talk to somebody, you have to remind them. Shoot.
I put a pause button on this. Webby's been married twice. Who would leave Webby? How? Oh, maybe they just weren't good enough for you. That's it. Like, my God. I mean, Webby
might have died.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
I was gonna say.
Maybe
I was gonna go there, Mark.
Webby, did they die and not have a beneficiary? Fuck, no, he just got divorced. I don't know. No, wait.
Okay.
First one's a cool story.
Oh, we need some Webby stories.
Oh, this is what I want. I always like to kind of bring, I don't know why, I call it the sleazy part of me. I like to bring sales into this a little bit at some point. Do you think as an advisor, Wendy, walking into a new prospect, let's just close our eyes and imagine it's a, $50 million plan, and you walk into the point of sale and you say, hey, one of the things I'm passionate about is making sure that every damn person's got a beneficiary form filled out. And I work hard to do that with the record keeper, what have you. Like, it doesn't sound sexy, but there could be a lot of human resources, chief financial officers, decision makers that might like to hear that in a point of sale. Or am I reaching now?
No, you're 100%. I will tell you just a recent story that happened. That was not in my sales pitch, but when I took over a plan, one of the things that we talked about is beneficiaries and do you have them? And the CFO was adamant that they went through this whole process. So I said, okay, let me just run a report. The owner of the company did not have the beneficiary listed. And so I had to be very careful in letting him know that didn't. And so, but they'll probably be a client for the rest of my life because the owner was so grateful that he didn't have it. And he had like 16 beneficiaries that he wanted to add it. That's why he didn't have it before. And I made him do it and put all this stuff through. But yes, I do think that could, because people aren't talking about it enough.
Did you both see Moody's point in the chat bar, which is automatic enrollment, especially required on plans with more than 10 people that are starting up? You have all these folks being auto-enrolled with no sign-on to the website, no declaration of a beneficiary in there. That's a That's a big one there. If you're stepping into a plan and you run that report and you see that 20-30% of people have never elected a beneficiary, time to get dirty and get in there and help these folks.
Mark doesn't want to hear this, but Moody's got a smart brain on him. On our last subject, he said that the real mystery here is why those plan sponsors are not getting that tax credit, because as an industry, we seem to think that cost is like the biggest barrier for these small plans. We're not going to get to that article. There was an article we were going to talk about today, but I don't have time for it, where it was talking about how tech was helping companies like Human Interest and 401 Go and Ubiquity. Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Actually be able to kind of bring costs down. And Moody's saying, like, do they really care about costs? Because they don't give a fuck to go get their tax credit. So maybe that's
they care about
bullshit
time.
thing.
They care about time.
Oh God, Chad, stop with the fucking administrative responsibility bullshit. I'm so tired of that shit.
Can I quick answer Will, though? Will said the plan documents have defaults. The plan document does have a default if you are married. If you're not married, it's going to probate. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds right.
Okay.
No, he says not true.
JD. Oh.
Let's ask someone, go into Waves Chat K Pro and ask it. You'll get the right answer. It'll let you know.
Table that article though. The providers lean on tech, because there's some good shit there that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know why I want to stick to time tonight. Usually I go on forever.
Because you're already over.
Maybe we could after show it or something. But yeah, we could potentially go to that, because I spent a lot of time looking at all those numbers and stuff. And when I read that article, the one that's up there, I get so frustrated. Ugh. And not just because of the pooled employer plan.
I was just saying, because it leads right into that. Yeah.
That stuff's a little frustrating, because the whole thing's about costs. And can we please all say that pooled employer plans are more expensive than standalone plans? They are not cheaper than the very industry.
That has been proven.
They fess up to that.
It's not a debate anymore.
And by the way, that's called physics. When you add a pooled plan provider and a 338 and a 316 and all, it's going to cost more. Because you're adding.
Did you just say physics?
Yeah, it's physics, bro. It's like when you drop the fucking apple, it falls to the ground. When you add all these services onto a plan, it's going to cost more. So we could get into that. And then I love that Human Interest jumps in, and 401 Go and Ubiquity, and it's like, yeah, we do it because we're cheap. And I'm like looking at their fees. I'm like, the only reason you're cheap is because you don't have a fucking advisor on your plan. And do we think that's here's the quick abbreviated version, Wendy, I'll go to you. Like, do we think that that's a good solution for small startup plans as we try to solve the coverage gap, is to give them 401k plans without financial advisors?
That would be the worst.
I agree with you. I think that's absolutely crazy talk. Like, they need an advisor there.
Well, I think too that I don't know. I didn't feel like you guys talked about it enough on your last show when Carl was talking about that there have not been any lawsuits yet because of the timing. And that timing is coming up, right? Wasn't he talking about
the pooled employer plans? Yeah. Right. Yeah, and they need those assets to grow.
Give it a runway.
Yeah, that was interesting. He's a smart guy. That was a good one. Okay, let's chap our champion it, shall we? Wendy, you're gonna vote for a chap our champion. Mark's gonna vote for a chap our champion. Chad's gonna vote for a chap our champion, and then those three are gonna go head to head. Actually, no, I'm gonna pick one. Mark's gonna pick one. Chad's gonna pick one, and they're gonna go head to head, and you're gonna choose the winner based on their response to a robe guy finishing sentence, okay? And so I'm going to choose Nate Moody because I love him and I love his sister. Chad, your choice?
I had already put it in the chat. I was going Moody as well.
Well, you can't because I took him, so.
Okay. I'm going to go, even though he talks some shit on me, I'm going to go Hackler. Hackler had an involved night.
And Roby?
Because he put his name like this, I'm just going to throw him in there. Schaffner. Yeah.
And Schaff. Okay. And so Nate Moody, Hackler and Schaffner, you need to finish this sentence. What is it, Roby?
I'm doing this again.
Every time, Mark.
No. That's how it works, bro.
Okay. My favorite Justin Bieber song is blank.
That's it.
That was a
There
good
should
one,
be extra points for speed.
Wendy, don't be so nice.
too.
That was kind of.
They will not say a real one.
Come on, think about it though.
It should be like
JD.
and why or something. I like.
No, because first of all, it doesn't have to be a real name of the song. Also, it relates back to our show.
Moody says whatever your sister puts on, Roby. So that's a good one. Hackler's going old school, Wendy. He's going baby, and I think Schaff saying.
Schaff says he wants the song that the impersonator sang. He doesn't know what the impersonator sang, but he wants the song that the impersonator sang as his favorite song.
Those are your choices, Wendy. The Bieber impersonator, baby from Hackler, or back to Roby, whatever your sister puts on.
Well, Schaff, we talked about this on the show. Come on, I picked you for a reason, dude. I thought you were better than that.
I gotta go with baby.
Okay.
Oh,
good
shit.
for Hack. Good for Hack.
Look at you. Hack knew his audience. Hack knew his audience.
Well done. Congratulations, Will Hackler, the most winningest MVP in Retireholics history, without a doubt, William Hackler. And I'm going to save you for last, Wendy. Thank you, Chad, for being here. Nerdy Chad. Love you. Appreciate you. Good to have you back. You were sorely missed last week. Roby, even Schaffner said, new kind of Roby tonight. Wow. Was fucking, you were impressive, according to.
Heavily involved. I liked it.
Usually you're just kind of like, what do you think about that, Roby? And you're like, yeah, cool, bro. It's good. Whatevs. Yeah. That's how you do shit.
Hey,
so
don't.
And I want to say thank you to myself for being here. I've never done that. And I want to do that. So I'm gonna look in the camera and say, JD, you're phenomenal, bro. You show up every time. You put all this shit together, and you just the charisma you bring. You're so handsome. You're so funny, and you're amazing, JD. So well done. And then to you, the audience, thanks for showing up again. We love you. 10 years running. Thanks for being here, you little retirement plan fucking freaks. What are you doing? Get a life. And lastly, and most importantly, 401ks rock. Wendy Eldridge, thank you for joining our little whatever this is. We really appreciate you, and it's great to run into other people that love retirement plans the same way we do. So it's awesome to do this with you.
Thank you,
so
Wendy,
much for having me.
All right, Brandon, play us out with Yukon, please. What song did you pick?
If your life had a face, I would punch it.
See ya.
Peace out, everybody. See you next time.